Hello, everyone, and welcome to game 98 of my 1986 New York Mets replay. We are at Shea Stadium, 30th of July, 1986, for game 4 of a 4-game series against the visiting Chicago Cubs. Our current record on the replay is 55-42. The actual record at this point is 66-31, so still 11 behind. Let's go down to the field and see the lineups for the visiting Chicago Cubs. Lead off, Bob Dernier, center field. Batting 2, second baseman Ryan Sandberg. Batting 3, left fielder Gary Matthews. Cleanup spot, right fielder Keith Moreland. Batting 5 is the catcher Jody Davis. Batting 6, third baseman Ron Cey. Batting 7, first baseman Manny Trio. Batting 8th, shortstop Sean Dunston. And on the mound and batting 9th, right-hand pitcher Dennis Eckersley. For your New York Mets, leading off, center fielder Lenny Dykstra. Batting second is the second baseman Wally Backman. Batting third, first baseman Keith Hernandez. Batting fourth is the catcher Gary Carter. Batting fifth in right field, Darryl Strawberry. Batting sixth, left fielder Danny Heap. Batting seventh, third baseman Ray Knight. Batting eighth, shortstop Howard Johnson. And on the mound is left-hander Sid Fernandez. Current record is started 19 games. He's got a record of 7 wins and 7 losses and an ERA of 3.11. So let's get down to the ballpark, and the game is about to start. And here's the pitch, a possible home run against a right fielder. A right-handed batter is in there. He needs to. It goes back to the warning track in the center field, and Lenny Dykstra makes the catch for the first out. So Ryan Sandberg. Pitch is made and strikes him out. So 2 away. Up comes left fielder Gary Matthews. Swings and misses, and he misses the pitch for the second strikeout. Strikes out swinging, and that's the end of the top of the first with no score. And the eagle-eyed amongst you who's been watching my other games will notice that the Mets cards are slightly different. I've had to reprint them because the original card I printed them on in about 5 years ago. After 100 games, is getting a bit moth-eaten, so I printed them out on a better quality stock card, just the Mets. So here we go, Eckersley, ready to have his first pitch of this game, and they looked for a hit by pitch. It didn't hit him, so let's move to the batter's card for 6, and he flies that ball out to center fielder, and Bob Dernier underneath it makes the catch for the first out. Wally Backman. Eckersley, here comes the pitch, and it's hit sharply to Sean Dunston, who takes the catch for a line out, and 2 are away. Keith Hernandez. No strikeout, so here comes the pitch, and he hits the ball into center field, and once again Bob Dernier is there to make the catch. So 3 up, 3 down in the first innings for both, and at the end of 1 we have no score. So coming up on the mound is Sid Fernandez, and he will be facing Keith Morland, Jordy Davis, and Ron Say in the second inning. Here comes the pitch. Looked for a strikeout, but it wasn't a strikeout. And it's a hit for a single out to the right fielder. So gets on base. Let's see if he's going to try anything. He needs a 1. So there's no strategy play going on. Here comes the pitch. And possible walk, but no. So we're going to Jody Davis's card. 5-3 against a left-hander. It's going to be taken in the air, can of corn for Danny Heap, and 1 out. Ron Say comes to the plate. He's a right-hander, so we'll go off his card. And he grounds it to first baseman Keith Hernandez. So double play is a 3, and Ron Say is right-handed, so the pivot man for a grounding out is the shortstop. So that's 3 plus 0. Shortstop is Howard Johnson, so it's 2 for a double play. So it's not a double play, and they will get Morland out. 3-6. Didn't get it back in time, so fielder's choice for Ron Say. And up comes Manny Trio. 19 for a strikeout. And he is a left-handed pitcher, which will make that 21, and he strikes him out for the third strikeout of the match for Sid Fernandez. And at the end of the top of the second, there's still no score. So to go to the bottom of the third, Dennis Eckersley will be facing Carter Strawberry and Danny Heap. Eckersley winds up, and there could be an error on a grounder here. Here comes the pitch, and it's a double out to the left fielder, Gary Matthews. So Carter gets himself a double. Darryl Strawberry. Here comes the pitch from Eckersley. Strawberry's a left-hander, so it will go to his card. 1-1. So it grounds out to second base, and because of that, that means that Carter will go to third. But 1 out. So Eckersley to Danny Heap. Let's do that again. Range play, so here comes the pitch from Eckersley. And that is hit out to right field. There's Keith Morland, and he can't make the play, and that will end up as a double for Danny Heap, scoring Gary Carter. So the Mets take a 1-run lead on a double by Danny Heap. Ray Knight coming to the plate, and he is going to swing away. Here comes the pitch. Let's roll that again. 4-5, and he grounds out back to the pitcher. I believe that will mean, that Heat will go to third. And so two men out, man on third as Howard Johnson comes up. And he's going to try and pick him off. So let's have a look at the pick off here. 16, no pick off. Here comes the pitch, and we're going to go to the ballpark. And he grounds out to the second base to end the inning, and 1 run comes over. So at the end of the second inning, the Mets lead the Cubs by 1 run to nothing. Coming up for the Cubs, Dunston, Eckersley, and then lead off Bob Dernier. Here comes the pitch from Fernandez. Could be an error. So his flying hit is deep to Danny Heap at left field, who's got an error of 0. So there is no error there, and makes the catch for the first out. Pitcher to pitcher, Dennis Eckersley at the plate, and strikes him out for his 4th strikeout of this game so far. 2 out, and up comes the leadoff batter, Bob Dernier, fly out to right in the first inning. Here comes the pitch. And he gets hold of that ball out to left field, but can of corn for Denny Heap, and the 3rd out of the inning. And so 3 up, 3 down. And the Mets, as we go back into the bottom of the 3rd, leading by 1 run to 0. So top of the order, back up for the Mets. Dykstra, Backman, and Hernandez. Dykstra fly out to centre field in the first inning. And here comes the pitch. And he hits it out to Gary Matthews, who collects it, but Dykstra gets on base with a single. 5. And he's going to try and steal a base. 16. The catcher is a -2, so 1 to 14. Off he sets, and he gets thrown out. A 20. I think that could be a catcher error, if I'm not mistaken. I think we better check that. Stolen bases. All those are 20 are caught stealing, no matter what the adjustment. Oh, right. So I've actually got it the wrong way around. So it's an actually caught stealing. So Dykstra gets caught stealing. It's actually, if it's a 1 or a 2, it can be an error. I've just seen that in the rules. So 1 out. Wally Backman at the plate. Range play. (3-1). So that is going to go grounded to the first baseman, and the first baseman is Manny Trio's range of 2, so he doesn't make it, and it's a 2-base. No, it's just a range play, so he makes it as a single. So let's have a look at Wally Backman. Will he have an attempt? No. Keith Hernandez comes to the plate. Fly out to centre field in his first at bat. And is that a wild pitch? 5. No, it's a pass ball possible. So the catcher's pass ball rating is a 3. So this is interesting. Is it, if it's less than that number, it's a pass ball, or is it greater than? Let's have a look, shall we? Passed ball. I've never had a pass ball, so possible pass ball. Roll 1d6. Number after the slash. Yeah, got all that. If the roll is higher, then it is a pass ball. So it's a higher, so it's a pass ball. So Backman gets to second on the pass ball, And here comes the pitch. To 5 is a strikeout. 14 is not going to be a strikeout. 6-1 is a double. So double out to centre field. So let's have a look at what happens with this runner. Double out to centre. Coming from second to home is a +2. We have 2 outs. So that's a +3. So he becomes a 5. The outfielder is a +2. So he's going to make the run. So Batman comes in. Hernandez gets the RBI, and the Mets take a 2-run lead with Gary Carter coming to the plate. 2 out. Sorry. Oh. No, we haven't got 2 outs. But still beat that number anyway. The extra one didn't make a difference. So Gary Carter comes to the plate. Range play at the ballpark. Carter doubled in his first at bat. 4-6 is a starline 5, which is a fly out to the left fielder, who is Gary Matthews. Has got a range of 1. He's not going to make that. And it's going to be a double. And that will score Hernandez. So the Mets beginning to rack up some runs in this third inning. Darryl Strawberry. Is that a wild pitch? No. So here it comes. It's another double out to left field, and activity beginning to start in the bullpen for the Cubbies. That's 3 runs in this inning. Only 1 out so far. Danny Heap coming to the plate. Eckersley pitches. Doesn't get the strikeout. And he grounds that ball out to the second baseman. Can they turn this into a double play? No, they can't, because he's on second base. So Strawberry gets to third. And 2 outs. Ray Knight, 0 for 1. Here comes the pitch from Eckersley. And he flies out to Gary Matthews in left field, who takes the catch. And at the end of the third, 3 runs coming in. And the Mets lead the Cubs 4-0. So as we go to the top of the 4th inning, Sandberg, Matthews, and Moreland. Moreland being the only person who's got on base so far, or hit the ball so far. Here comes the pitch. No strikeout. Against the left-handed pitcher, 19, is going to be a fly out to the right fielder, Darryl Strawberry, and he takes the catch easily for the first out of the 4th. Gary Matthews, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here comes the pitch. Against the lefty, he's going to walk. So the first walk given up by Fernandez in this game. Keith Moreland, 1 for 1. Out on a force out in the 2nd inning. And left-handed pitcher is going to walk the 2nd walk in a row. And that will bring Jody Davis, the catcher, to the plate, fly out to the left at his first at bat. And we're going to the ballpark. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be a single out to center fielder, and he's going to try and make it into a double. And to make it into a double, his runner's rating is a 2. And we're going to remove off that the center fielder's arm, which is a 0. So 1 to 2 will get him a double. 4. So he's not going to get a double, he's going to hold. So he just takes the single. So S8 with a man on third. Sorry, with a man on second is a +2. So he becomes a 4. So anything that's a 4 or less will get a score, and he gets in. Moreland will go to third. And up comes Ronsay. Now, will he go for that? No, he won't. So 1 out. Men at the corners. Ronsay is a righty, so here comes the pitch from Sid Fernandez. And he's going to fly out to center field. So again, we've got a +2. Make him a 4. So anything less than a 4 will bring him in. And it doesn't. It's a 6. So he will hold. Now, Davis can go to third, and he's not going to go. He's going to just stop at first. And 2 outs. Manny Trio. Pitch from Sid Fernandez, and he's caught with the low fastball for the 5th strikeout, and the inning is over, but they do bring 1 man over, leave 2 on base, and the Mets lead the Cubs by 4 runs to 1 as we go into the bottom of the 4th. So Eckersley is going to continue to pitch. Possible strikeout, and strikes him out. So Howard Johnson goes for the first strikeout. Sid Fernandez. Possible strikes him out. So another strike, 2 strikeouts in a row for Eckersley after that really, really poor performance in the 3rd inning. Lenny Dykstra, 1 for 2. Here comes the pitch at the ballpark, and it's a range play. Oh, no, it isn't, because we've got an unusual play, and we have the bases empty. So, bases empty, unusual play, rare play. 61, right fielder, who is Darryl Strawberry. Crashes into wall, chasing a deep drive. Resolve as a D9, so it's a double range play. Check for injury of the right fielder. If the right fielder fails to make this play, the center fielder picks up the ball with the hitter attempting a triple. So, and treat it as an S8. So let's see the first part of it. Check as a D9 range play. So Strawberry's range is a 2. So it doesn't make it, so it's a double at least. we're not. The right fielder is actually Keith Morland, who is a 1, so it's at least a double. So now we have to look at the centre fielder, and he's going to try and make it into a triple. So he's got a run of 4, and the centre fielder has got an arm of 2, so it's a 6. So it's going to be a triple. So he's going to come round for a triple. So now we have to look at the injury rating of the right fielder, who is Keith Morland. He's an injury 0. So we roll a single dice. We only allow for 1 game because I'm playing as games. And on a 0, so he's fine. He doesn't get injured. But he does get a triple with 2 out. Oh, pick-off attempt. $15 is not a pick-off attempt. He didn't make it. So Wally Batman comes to the plate. 1 for 2. 3-6. Here comes the pitch from Dennis Eckersley. And that is hit deep out to right field, going back towards the wall. Onto the warning track goes Keith Morland, fresh from running into the fence, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. So at the end of 4, no runs in that inning, and the Mets lead the Cubs as we go into the top of the 5th by 4 runs to 1. Coming up for the Cubs, Dunston, Eckersley, and Dernier. Sid Fernandez on the mound, winds up, takes the pitch, and Dunston leaves it, and it's a strikeout for the 6th strikeout of the inning. And they're going to call Dennis Eckersley back, so that will be the end of Eckersley. Pitched 4 innings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. 4 runs. All of them earned. Didn't walk anybody and struck 2 out. So let's see who they're going to bring in to play in Eckersley's place. So Jerry Mumphrey is going to come in as the pinch hitter. So the switch hitting. Jerry Mumphrey to face Sid Fernandez. 1 out in the top of the 5th. And Mumphrey gets connection on that and gets out past the pitcher for a single. So Mumphrey on base. Lead hitter Bob Dernier. Here comes the pitch at the ballpark. And it's going to be a fly out to the centre fielder who's going to make the catch. Mumphrey will hold, and that's 2 outs. Ryan Sandberg 0 for 2. Here comes the pitch, and we're at the ballpark. Right-handed batter. And he gets connected with that out towards right field. It's going back. It's going back. It's over the wall. And a home run for Ryan Sandberg, bringing in Jerry Mumphrey. So a 2-run home run to cut the lead down to just 1 run. Gary Matthews, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run. And here comes the pitch. And he's going to ground that out to Ray Knight, who will easily make the ball over to Keith Hernandez for the 3rd out of the inning. But at the end of the bottom of the 5th, it's the Cubs 3, the Mets 4. So we need a new pitcher for the Cubs. And that is going to be Frank DiPino. I'll go in the order that they pitched in the game. So Frank DiPino is going to come in. Now, where can Mumphrey play? Can he play left field? He can. So Mumphrey's going to stay in and play left field. And Gary Matthews is going to come out. And in his place is going to be Frank DiPino. Who is a left-handed pitcher. So we're ready. He's finished his warm-up tosses and we're ready to commence the bottom of the 5th. Here comes the first pitch from DiPino. Against the left-hander, it's going to be Starline. So Hernandez is going to hit that over to Ryan Sandberg at second base for a 4-3 ground out. And that's the first away in the 5th. Gary Carter, 2 for 2, both double. So he's having a good day. But they're not going to allow him to do that here. They're going to walk him. So the first walk given up by Frank DiPino. And coming to the plate, Darryl Story, 1 for 2, being another double. A lot of doubles being scored in this game by the Mets. 18, and he's going to strike him out. So first strikeout, second out of the inning for DiPino. Danny Heap, 1 for 2, and he's got a double. So here comes the pitch. And he gets a single out past second base. Anything 3 to 6 will get him out to third. So Gary Carter will stay at second. So men at first and second with 2 outs. Sorry, with 2 outs. And up comes Ray Knight. 0 for 2 so far in this game. Right-handed, but he's going to hit that back past the pitcher, and that will move Gary Carter to third and Danny Heap to second. So bases are loaded as we go in, and Howard Johnson is going to bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Range play. Here comes the pitch to Howard Johnson. Against a lefty, he's going to ground out. He's going to hit that towards second baseman Ryan Sandberg. And Sandberg will make the play to end the inning, leaving The bases loaded for the Mets. And at the end of 5, the Mets hold a slender 4-3 lead over the Chicago Cubs. So as we get ready to start the 6th inning, Moreland, Davis and Say will come to bat. Here comes Sid Fernandez. The pitch to Moreland, and he gets hold of that out to left field. Danny Heap takes a few steps to his right and makes the catch for the first out. And up comes Jody Davis, the catcher. No strikes or the pitch. And he gets a single out to right field. Strawberry there to collect it, and he gets to the first base. So Ron Say comes to the plate. 0 for 1 with the fielder's choice. And here comes the pitch at the ballpark. That's going to go through there. Star line 1 is a fly out to Danny Heap at left field, makes the easy catch for the second out, 2 down. As Manny Trio comes to the plate, 2 strikeouts in this game so far. And hey, he strikes him out again, so he gets the hat trick. And that ends the top of the 5th. Here at Shea Stadium, top of the 6th, sorry. The Cubs 3, the Mets 4. So coming up for the Mets, pitcher Sid Fernandez, Lenny Dykstra and Wally Backman, and they're going to let Fernandez continue. So here comes the pitch, and he gets a single. So Fernandez gets a single. So up comes top of the order, Lenny Dykstra. It's going to be Star line 2. So it's going to ground out to second. Is this going to be a double play? So it's a 2. A 1, and so the shortstop's going to be the pivot. So 2 to shortstop is, so it's going to be a 2. So no, he doesn't make it. A 5. It's not a double play, and he will get a 4-6 put out, and Dykstra gets on base with a fielder's choice. And they're going to put the hit and run on with Wally Backman. 6-4 against a lefty is a star line. Star line 5 is a ground out. Now then, this is where it gets interesting. Ground out 5. Double plays. Oh, you got to take 2 off, so it's not a double play still. The base runner gets a +2. So he will be a 6, so he will make second, and the only play is going to be 5-3 to get Backman out. Pushes Dykstra over to second base, and Keith Hernandez comes to the plate. 1 for 3. Double a run and a run batted in. Here comes the pitch, and he's going to hit that out to second baseman, and a 4-3 to end the inning. And after 6, the Mets still have this slender 4-3 lead over the Cubs. So Sid Fernandez is back in again. He will be tired after pitching to the second batter here. So they probably will try and get him through if he can get the first 2 outs. Sean Dunstan. So here comes the pitch from Fernandez at the ballpark. And he grounds that out to Wally Backman. Easy throw over to Keith Hernandez for the first out. Jerry Mumphrey, 1 for 1 with a run. Singled in his only at bat. And they're going to walk him, so that'll be the 3rd walk. For Fernandez, and now he's tired. Bob Dernier. Here comes the pitch from Fernandez. And he gets a single out past the shortstop. And a 6. First to third is a 5 or a 6. And he's not either of those, so he's going to stay there, and they're going to call time on Sid Fernandez. So 6.1 innings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 1 home run. He's got 3 runs so far. Could have 2 more credited to him. He's walked 3 and he struck out 7. So Fernandez is going to come out of the game, and he's going to be replaced by Doug Sisk. So Gus finished his warm-up tosses. He's a right-handed pitcher, and he's going to walk. So bases are loaded as Ryan Sandberg comes up. Sorry, that was Ryan Sandberg. So we've got the pitcher is going to come out. So we've got 1 out so far, and so they're going to bring Terry Francona in to pinch hit. So Doug Sisk with the pitch. Did he hit him? And he's hit the batter, so he's going to force a run in, which will please Sid Fernandez no end, because he'll get the earned run for that. Keith Morland. Here comes the pitch from Doug Sisk. And he flies out to right. Now then, sacrifice. 3. So 1, so it's a sac fly. And that will bring in Mumphrey. Now then, Sandberg coming from second to home on fly out to centre is going to be a +2, so that's going to be a 6. He's going to bring him in, and this is turning out to be a really, really bad inning for the Mets. So Fernandez will be charged for both of those runs. 2 outs, and Jody Davis comes to the plate. And there's a single out to left field. So single out to left with a man on second. To home is a +1 and another one +2. So that gives him a 3. The arm of the left fielder is a 0. So 1 to 3 will score him. And he does. He scores. So another run comes over in this inning. 4 runs, and they're going to bring Sisk out. So he's managed to pitch 0.1 innings. One hit, no runs, no home runs, but he's brought in 4 runs. Of which 2 are earned. And he has walked 1 and he's struck out nobody. So out goes Doug Sisk. And in comes Randy Myers. To try and close this inning out. So here we go then. Can Myers close out this inning? Disastrous inning for the Mets. Range play. Here comes the pitch from Randy Myers. It's a possible double out to the right fielder, and right fielder is Darryl Strawberry. He's got a range of 2, but he gets it. He makes the diving catch and ends the inning. But 1, 2, 3, 4 runs have come across the plate, and so the Mets now trail after, as we go into the 7th inning stretch, 7-4. So ballpark, crowd, crackerjack, come back, root for home team, shame, 3 strikes are out, ball game. So there we go. That's the end of the seventh inning stretch. Let's put this picture in its place. And Frank DePino, I think, is gone, isn't he? He's gone, yeah. Frank DePino's gone. So we need a new pitcher. And that's going to be Lee Smith. So DePino pitched 2 innings, 1, 2, 3 hits. Didn't give any runs up. Walked 1, didn't, and struck out 1. So Lee Smith is going to come in. Where Terry Francona was. And we're about ready to commence the bottom of the 7th, with the Mets trailing by 7-4, sorry. And here comes the first pitch from Lee Smith to Gary Carter. And flies out to the right fielder, Kevin Moreland. Canacorn makes the catch easily for the first out. Darryl Strawberry. And he walks him, so Strawberry gets on base. Oops. 6, 8, 1 to 8 are getting a chance to steal a base. No. So up comes Danny Heap, 2 for 3 on the day. So the pitch from Lee Smith, and that is a fly out to the right fielder, and again, easy catch for Keith Moreland. So that brings Ray Knight to the plate. Here comes the pitch from Smith, and that's fly out to the centre fielder, and the catch is made for the third out, and no runs come across the plate. So at the end of 7, the Cubs leading the Mets by 7-4. So Randy Myers is going to pitch to Manny Trio, Sean Dunston, and then Jason Mumphrey. Oops, wrong one. Let's do that again. Here comes the pitch from Randy Myers. And he walks the first batter, Trio. So will Trio try and steal? Nope. Sean Dunston, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And hey, strikes him out again. So the first strikeout for Randy Myers. And the first out in the top of the 8th. Here comes the pitch from Myers to Jerry Mumphrey. Scored in both innings so far that he's batted. And he gets another single, so that's not sounding good. He gets a single out past the third baseman. And Trio will go to third. So men on the corners with 1 out, and the top of the order coming up, Bob Dernier. Possible error on a throw here. And that ball is a fly out to the left fielder. 7. 1 out. Man on third. So was that a sacrifice, we ask ourselves? Sacrifice rating for Dernier is a 0, so it's not going to be a sacrifice. So we go to the throw chart, and it was a 2. If the roll is less than or equal to the ABR, let's have a look. 2 outfielder is Dykstra, so he will make the run, but it won't be given as a sacrifice. Mumphrey will go over to second, and another run comes in. Bit of insurance for the Cubs. And Ryan Sandberg is at the plate, and he's going to be walked. So he's going to walk Sandberg. So no, we don't want the pitcher in. He's going to come out, isn't he? We're not going to let him bat. Chris Spear. Who's a righty. So here we go then. .65. Possible strikeout, and it's not a strikeout. But he's going to ground out to second base, and that's going to end the inning. But another run comes over, and as we go to the bottom of the 8th, the Mets trail by 8 runs to 4. So I can see that Randy Myers is going to come out. And let's put Howard Johnson back in first. Let's get the pitcher sorted out. I think we're now at the stage where they can bring all the want in because everybody has pitched that should have done. So we got an inning to pitch. It's going to be, we've got 2 innings to pitch actually. George Frazier is going to come in to pitch. Lee Smith is finished for the day. He's pitched 1 inning. No runs, no hits. Just the 1 walk. Right, so we need to look at this lineup now. So Spear is going to come out, and that's where Frazier is going to go in. Where's the picture card gone? I've lost their picture card. Where's that gone? Ah, there it is. So George Frazier is coming in here. He's a right-handed pitcher. So, Howard Johnson. So he's going to bat left, and so here comes the pitch from Frazier. Against a righty, he's going to get a single out past the second baseman. And now the Mets will bring in a pinch hitter. And that's going to be George Foster. So Frazier to Foster. And that's against a righty, and he's going to hit that out back past the pitcher for an S1. First to third, he's going to be 4-6. And Howard Johnson is going to get over to third base. So quickly, we've got 2 men on base. There is no strategy because they're so far behind. It's Lenny Dykstra. Here comes the pitch from Frazier. He grounds it back to the pitcher. Double play possibility. Is a 2 and a -1, so it's a 1. And he is a left-handed batter, so it's the shortstop. So it's a 1. It will be a double play, and so he gets a double play. 1-6-3. But it will bring in Howard Johnson. So we've got 2 away, 1 run in, and up comes Wally Backman. 5-3. Wild pitch, there's nobody on base, so it's ball 1. Oops. Let's roll that again. 2-1. He's a switch hitter, so he's going to be batting left, and it's going to be a walk, so he's going to walk Backman. So he's going to hit. Here comes the pitch. And he's going to walk. Ball 4, so he's walked Hernandez as well, bringing up Gary Carter. So 1 hit away from tying the game. Here comes the pitch. And we're going to go to Gary Carter's card. And he's going to get a single past the second baseman. So that single past the second baseman. Second to home is going to be if he's 2-6. So Backman's going to come in and score. First to third is also 2-6. So Hernandez will go to third. So men on the corners. And a second run coming in. And up comes Darryl Strawberry. 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI already. And a strikeout. Frazier sends the pitch. And he flies out to left field. And that will end the inning. But 2 runs have come across, and as we go to the top of the 9th, the score is the Cubs 8. The Mets 5, 6, 8, 6. So we need a new pitcher for the Mets. And they're going to bring in Jesse Orozco. So Myers pitched 1.1 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no runs. Sorry, he did get 1 run. Walked 2, struck out 1. So Jesse Orozco is going to come in. And we're going to bring Kevin Mitchell in. He will bat in 9th. We don't need to because we've got George Foster, haven't we? George Foster. He can play left field. No, we don't want to. Yeah. So we're going to bring in Kevin Mitchell, who is a righty. He's going to play right field. And then Orozco is going to bat in Darryl Strawberry's position. The left-handed pitcher. So there we go. Everybody's happy. As we go to the top of the 9th, Orozco will face Moreland, Davis, and Ronsay. So here comes the first pitch, and it could be an error if it's a grounder. Starline 4 is going to be a fly out to right fielder, and in the right field is Kevin Mitchell, and he makes the catch for the first out. Jody Davis, 3 for 4, 3 singles, 2 RBIs. Here comes the pitch, and he's not going to be a strikeout, so he goes to Jody Davis's card, and he's going to get a double, so he's 4 for 5. 1 out, Ronsay. Here comes the pitch, and he's going to walk Say, so we've got men on first and second. Double play depth. Manny Trio. Yeah, he strikes him out for his first strikeout and the second out of the inning. Sean Dunston. And the pitch. Ball is hit out to center fielder, and Lenny Dykstra takes the catch to end the inning. So as we go into the bottom of the 9th, the Cubs leading the Mets by 8-6. So the Mets have got to manufacture a couple of runs here to stay in this game. George Fraser can pitch to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And already pitched to 7. So I think it's he didn't have a good one. They're going to take him out. So pitch 1 inning. 3 hits, no home runs, but 1 run and it was earned. He walked 2 and he didn't strike anybody out, so Fraser's gone. So who are they going to bring in to close this? They only have Fontenot and Gumpert. So Dave Gumpert's going to come in. It's a safe situation. So the Mets need 2 runs. Danny Heap. So we have Heap, Knight, and Howard Johnson. And Heap. Here comes the pitch. And he gets a triple. So Heap leads off with a triple. So Ray Knight. Dave Gumpert. Here comes the pitch. And has he hit him? No, he hasn't. Right-handed pitcher with 11. And another triple. So 2 triples in a row. And that brings in Danny Heap. So 1 run difference. Howard Johnson. Man on third, time run on third, no outs. Range play. Here comes the pitch. And it's hit out to the left fielder. Who is Jerry Mumphrey, a range of 2, and he doesn't make it. And so he's going to get a single, and that will bring in the tying run. So man on first, and the game is tied. Howard Johnson is going to try and steal a base, so that's 18-19, and the catcher is a -2, so 1-17, sets off and he makes it, so he's on second with a stolen base. So the winning run on second, no outs, Kevin Mitchell. No point asking him to bunt. He's going to turn you down. Here comes the pitch. And he's going to ground that out to second. That will move Howard Johnson over to third, 1 out. Winning run is at third. And we have Lenny Dykstra. Are we going to do a suicide? A squeeze bunt? Let's go and have a squeeze bunt. Here he comes. He's going to bunt. Oops, let's put that out. So here comes Gumpert. 4-6. We're at the ballpark, but no, because it's a bunt, so it doesn't anything but a K. So here we go. Where's this bunt going to go? It is going to go back to the pitcher. So we got a 4 bunt. 16 on a 4. Bunt, defensive choice 1, retire batter or attempt to get the runner on third. Roll 1d6 against base runner of the runner on third higher and the runner is out. So the base runner on third has got a 4, so he's going to get a 5 or a 6 or else the game is over. And he gets the sacrifice bunt in. He's going to get the sacrifice. He's going to get on base. And Lenny Dykstra gets the winning run as Howard Johnson crosses the plate And the Mets score 3 in the 9th to win this game 9-8. So let's have a look at the end. Gumpert, 0.1. He's going to get the loss. The win will go to Jesse Orozco. 1, 2, 3. 3 hits, no home runs, 3 runs, all earned. Didn't walk anybody, didn't strike anybody out, but he gets the loss for Jesse Orozco, who's got the win. 1 inning. 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So let's have a look. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17 hits for the Mets. 9 hits for the Cubs. So there you have the final score. Cubs 8, Mets 9. A really, really exciting finish. I hope you agree. Please leave some comments if you enjoyed this game, and we'll see about doing some more. I will do the 100th game, which will probably be Thursday, and then after that, for the benefit of Dwayne Martz, I'll do a updated statistics of the season so far. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and until next time, good night.